Hi, my name is James Jarrow. I'm a second-year computer science major at the University of Central Florida, and this is part 2 of my demonstration for my application assignment 2. As I said in part 1, unfortunately due to technological constraints with my screen recorder, I could only do 15 minutes per video, so I had to split this up. So part 1, I showed my git clone and my all my classes along with the test running, and showing that the clone version can properly do the run task and the test task. And I'm picking up right where I left off. This is literally being recorded 10-20 minutes right after I just did the first part. So this here is the inventory GUI that pops up when I hit the run task. And to show that's the case, I will run the task again one more time. And voila. So here, in this part, I will discuss the GUI itself, and I will discuss the Readme. So here you can see we have a file menu bar which has 3 options: save as, load, and close, a value, a table view, 3 buttons, and a text field, which is for searching. So if I want to close this, that's what it does. That's the first thing that you'll notice. That if I hit that close button, it closes the GUI and we finish out. So now that I've shown that, I'll show every other thing. So here, let's add a new item. I'll say, let's call this item 1, give it a unique serial number as per the requirement. So I will say A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then B, C, D. And then give it a invalid item value to show that it won't allow you to do that. So I said 12.Pokemon. Oh no, the input's not valid, and it tells you which error it looks at. So here it tells us that an item's value must be a monetary value. So let's change that. 12. Let's say that item 1 is $12. Ta-da! There's item 1, its serial number, and its value. If I wanted to edit this item, I can simply edit the item, and I can change any part of this while leaving certain parts blank. If I didn't want to edit anything, I just hit edit or cancel. It still stays the same. But if I wanted to say, let's edit the value from $12 to $10, but keep the item number and serial number the same, now it's $10, and now it changes. Here and here, to show that the other 2 parts work, let's change our serial number to A12N345 POK. Ta-da! Serial number change. And if I wanted to change the item name, let's say I just wanted to call it P. Oh no, I can't do that because an item's name has to be between 2 and 256 characters. So let's change it to this is a test. This is a test. There you go. That's a valid item name. And now if I just want to remove that item, if I didn't want it for any reason, simply remove the item. Again, to show that you can't leave anything blank and add new item, you have to give something. So in this case, I have to give a name. So let's say, again, I'll say item 1 again, give it another serial number, so X, POK, 908. Again, I'm just making this up on the spot. And let's say item 1 is $8.54. There you go. That's that. Now if I wanted to search for item 2, which does not exist, you'll notice that everything else disappears because there is no such thing as item 2. If I wanted to search for Xbox, there's nothing. But if there is an item 1, there's an item 1. So the search bar will search for a specific item based on the name that you gave it. To show that the save and load functions work properly, I will save this file. I give the user 3 options here. For this demonstration, I'll just pick 1, but for the load, I'll show all 3 options. So here I have an HTML file, I have a TSV file, and I have a JSON file. I will save this as a TSV file just to demonstrate. let's say this is item in, let's call this the test file. So oh, oops, this already exists, so my bad. Let's call this demonstration.txt. Now that saves. Now if I go to where I saved it, go to demonstration.txt, this file right here. Open it up. Here is my list that I created, as shown. Now if I wanted to load another list, for my computer, so let's say I'm going to, actually let's keep this so I can show that it overrides whatever's on the table. So I'm going to pick load, and then I'm going to go to my Git, and let's say this is an HTML file. Here's a file I created from last night, just to play around. As you can see, the file this table got changed from item 1 to Xbox, its serial number, and the value, showing that it works for both JSON and TST as well. I will go find a test file that I created from last night. So again, from yesterday, here's item inventory, load it up, and you see I have 3 items now. And as a show, you can order these. My program allows you to sort by value, serial number, and the name respectively, based on comparing functions. So here I can sort by ascending order, and I can sort by descending order. Same thing here, based on ascending order and based on descending order, and ascending name and descending name. Again, based on comparing functions. Finally, to show that the TSV function works, let's go pull up a TSV file. So going down here, let's do item inventory 2. Hey look, there's the original original one that we created. And finally, to show that the search part intent is working, I'll pull up the JSON file that I had earlier to demonstrate this. Item inventory, so here's item, and I want to find a PS3. Oh no, there's no such thing as a PS3 in my table. Well, let's find an Xbox. There's the Xbox. Here's PS. There's both a PS5 and a PS4. Let's say I want the PS5. Here's the PS5 specifically. The only problem with my inventory manager that I will that I could find in my thing is that in the requirements it says that the first character has to be a letter. Unfortunately, my program does not allow that. Let's say that it's all numbers, it would still accept this as a number, unfortunately. This is, however, the only problem that I could encounter in my my GUI. And as you can see, we can order these change these around as a little bonus. Change them around if you want to change the order in which you see them. Doesn't really have any effect, but it's a nice little touch. That is my GUI, and that is my GUI program. In a nutshell. And then finally, if you want to see the Readme that I have, it is the Readme contains a user guide for the user. This is seen both here and here, but for the sake of simplicity's viewing, I'll show it on my GitHub. Here, it just goes through what I discussed before. It has an inventory manager. The name is an inventory manager, and it tells you how to do a description, how to navigate the inventory manager, the main GUI, how to add an item, how to remove an item, how to edit an item, how to sort the inventory, how to search the inventory for the item that you're looking for, how to save an inventory, and how to load the inventory that you want. And that's basically my program, in a nutshell, combined with part 1, obviously. I would like to give a massive thank you to Professor Hollander and to all the TAs. Thank you guys for teaching me that laziness is not acceptable. When I came into your class, I will say that I did not have the best, how shall we call it, methods of programming. I was not the best programmer, and I would still say that I am still very much a beginner programmer. But thanks to this class, I learned a lot about time management, reading instructions, asking questions, and above all else, integrity, just how a UCF student should learn it. Because, in my opinion, integrity is just as important as being smart. And thanks to this class, I've learned so much, not only about Java, but a lot of life lessons. And I would not have become half the programmer I am today without the TAs, Professor Hollander, and all my friends that I made in the class. So with that being said, thank you so much. I enjoyed having this class, and I would hope to see you guys all again one day. Until then, take care.